do it! Get a grip! This stupid video I just showed you! I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show! You donkey! You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a Football Friday. It's a Football Friday. I feel a tone in the chat that's a little different. Like when you do this, as long as I've done this, you get a read for the room. There's a little bit of a different vibe today. And it follows kind of what I've felt for a little while now. People are at the end of the rope with the quarterback thing. I see a bunch of people in here, don't talk quarterback, anything but quarterback, whatever. Whatever it is. And other people want to talk about it. And the two camps, you know, like if it's Kenny Carr, who's going to be right, who's doing things they want to be right, who cares, the best man going to win, whatever. We've reached a point with this where I think people are just ready to get an answer and move on. And we just go to the next. I feel it. It's wearing people thin. And the longer it goes, the more extreme I think the angles are going to get. Does that make sense? The longer you don't have an answer, the more you play with it in your head, and the more I feel like the takes are expanding. The longer it goes and it messes with your mind and you don't have games, there's nothing to distract you. And so then that quarterback thing works on you and it works on your brain. And then you think about it 10 different ways from Sunday. And then we're at a point where I think people are at the end of the rope and they're just ready. Name a guy. We're ready to just find out who it is. I don't know if a lot of this fan base is, how are they going to react when they go, it's going to be Kenny. How is this fan base going to react if that happens? If that happens, how is the fan base going to react? I just think it's going to be very, very interesting. And I think right now things are leading in that direction. And I don't know if a bulk percentage of this fan base is ready for that or how they're going to process that. And it just doesn't line up with what I think a lot of people were thinking it would be. And it's just going to be really, really interesting. But I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. And it's been out there. And that's the vibe. And I just wonder if that happens, what the reaction will be. That's all. 312-988-15, whatever. So I just think we've reached a critical mass with that. And people are just ready. People are just ready. I did a Patreon the other day talking about it's a real competition and they're doing it the right way. And whoever plays the best deserves to win the job. So if that's Kenny and it doesn't line up with what a lot of people thought when Carr came in here, fine. If it was Carr, then whatever. But like they're making a guy earn it and it's not being aimed at anybody. And that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. It's not being aimed at anybody. Nobody was anointed. This wasn't a transfer deal where you're giving a lot of money and then that guy's kind of got to play because it's like implicitly a part of the deal. No. It's a real quarterback competition, and you could get news Sunday. You could get, they got the big jersey scrimmage and all that. You could get your news Sunday about this and figure it out. And I don't know. I think right now things are pointing to Kenny. So from everything I've heard and read and whatever. So I don't know, but it's really interesting, but I'm excited for either way it goes. I'm excited to move on to the next phase of this because it has felt like, yeah, camp's moving along and there's all these position groups and people are talking about the safety. You have good options back there that you like. And what's this going to be? Like, there are all these other interesting things in the Notre Dame build up to this season that are just getting overlooked or overshadowed. And they're not getting a lot of articles written about them and people talking about them because the quarterback is just such a big deal. You could be sick of it all you want. You, the daily Notre Dame media consumer, can be sick of the storyline all you want, but you got to admit you understand why it's such a big storyline. Both of those things could be true, right? You could be sick of it and not want every show to be quarterback and every article to be quarterback, but you understand why it's that way. Say it 80 times a week. Most important individual position in all of sports. It's a big deal. I put Notre Dame quarterback up there with Yankee shortstop. It's a big damn deal. And the Notre Dame media buildup into every season is huge no matter what. No matter what. The Notre Dame buildup to this season gets a lot of juice. You throw in a quarterback controversy and man, you're off to the races. And it's just, you got to understand the media stuff. I see people being like, I'm kind of sick of it. I'm over it. Whatever. You got to understand right now, before it got, think of the media end of this. If you're a podcaster, you're a writer. Think about it. What do you think's going to do more clicks? An article about the quarterback battle or something about Notre Dame's defense being good that people already figure it was going to be good? I mean, it's going to be, you're going to talk about the quarterback because it's driving the ratings. So you don't have to like it and you could be over it, but you got to understand why it's happening. That's the hot topic. You may be sick of it, but it does bigger ratings than talking about, are you going to be able to stop the run? So whatever. Quarterback controversy. It's a battle, whatever, man. Competition. Like I'm saying it's just. And the other thing is, I think Andrew wrote, it's weird to see people get in these camps and have strong feelings about the quarterback thing. People want to be right. People want to be right, especially in the media. That's a big part of this, you guys. It's a big part of it. If you have an original take, do you want to be right or wrong? You're going to want to be right. Like that's just is what it is. If you put yourself out on an island one way or another, you kind of would like to be validated and not have to be like, oh, I guess I was wrong. Like that's just human nature. You want to be right on your takes. And so it's just, I understand the exhaustion. I understand I've been saying it feels like you're running in neutral. It's the weirdest feeling, you guys, because it feels like the fan thing is stuck in neutral. Camp's going on. They're working on stuff. There's exciting battles going on in the secondary. All this stuff's the offensive line starting to get lined up here. Oh, Gerby, whatever we're doing. All that stuff's going on, progressing to Miami. But there's a large part of the vibe that feels stuck in neutral until the quarterback is named. And it doesn't make sense, but in some ways it does. It's such an important position. You just kind of want to know. Here's who we're going to battle with against Miami and have it in your head. You get what I mean? You want to have it in your head that you know what the hell's going on in a couple weeks. And you want that peace of mind to know who it's going to be and wrap your mind around it. And the thing is, this is all fan mind games. None of this crap actually matters. It's like, who cares if the fans are anxious? Who cares if the fans don't know what's going on? We don't matter. We don't matter. But it's just like the collective peace of mind you're seeking, right? The collective closure everybody's seeking. And I really do mean this. I think this is a situation where people are going to rally around whoever it is, right? Like there's a lot of Minchy momentum here. I think people are ready to get behind whoever it is. And I think they will. The interesting thing is going to be whoever it is, the first time something goes wrong in Miami, what's the reaction going to be? That is a real test, I think. Is it going to be this guy won the job? You got to let him work through some stuff? Or is it going to be, oh, I knew this was wrong from the beginning and I was right. Get this bum out of here. Get this bum out of here. How's it going to be? That, I think, is going to be really, really interesting. That, I think, is really, really going to be interesting. Johnny's failure to commit to QB1 is very disappointing. I would actually argue I could easily argue the other way around. People fully in one camp or the other, especially regular fans, exclude guys that played the position. Like, I could argue the other way around. People that are fully in one camp or the other when neither one of these guys have taken a snap in a real game is disappointing. I could flip that right around on you and say any fan that saw enough to be sure who should be QB1 without any of these guys playing in a real game, I question that and what that's based on. So I don't know, man. It's a complicated dynamic. I'm ready for it to end. I'm sincerely ready for that. Just not to end. How much time you got, buddy? I'm just ready to get to the next phase of this. Whatever it's like. I think we're ready to get to the next phase of this. And let the best man win the job. And then we all rally and you kind of have your starting point there. And then what's going to happen is as soon as this quarterback's name, how many QBs you got, buddy? As soon as here's what I'm excited about. As soon as the quarterback's named, all the attention will turn to Miami. I'm ready for that. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a big shift. As soon as you know that and this storyline goes away or at least simmers down, then you're going to start seeing on Twitter instead of, I think this quarterback, I think that quarterback, you're going to start seeing a lot more, let's get serious about Miami the way WPP has been serious about Miami since before blue and gold, right? You get what I'm saying? So it's really a weird dynamic, and it has everybody all twisted sideways and weird, and parts of the media are trying to navigate it. It's just an interesting time in Notre Dame land. I also want to get into the Michigan thing. They got, what is it, noon or 1 o'clock? The penalties are going to come out. Apparently, we're going to talk about that. I would also like to know, because I don't want it to be all the quarterback stuff or whatever. I would also like to know, I was thinking about the position groups. And I want to know how you guys, now that we're like a few weeks into camp and transitioning into Miami prep starting next week specifically, I would love to know, has your stock gone up, down, or stayed the same with some of these position groups? And I think maybe that would be a fun way to do some stuff that isn't quarterback centric. If anybody has a strong feeling of like, you know what, I want to compare coming into the beginning of camp with 3 weeks having seen and earned and read whatever you've seen and earned and read. Are there certain things you feel better about, certain things you feel worse about? I would love to know if your stock has moved on any of these position groups compared to where you thought they were starting all this. I would love to know that. So I'm very interested in that too. Up, down, sideways, and how that's going to be. So let's get into it. We got some good chats and some really good super chats. And so we're going to go over that. I see Kent's over here. He's planting his flag in the ground. Jeremiah Love, not elite. Jeremiah Love, not elite. So if you want to be mad at somebody, Kent's right here. And he sent me the video of the guy that was breaking down. It was a Miami guy, and Kent sent me the video, and the guy was breaking it all down, and he was saying, I look at the numbers. I don't think Jeremiah Love's elite or whatever. Okay. And he broke down the numbers and said that it isn't not elite. So it'll be incumbent upon Jeremiah Love and that O-line and everybody to show him wrong. So you got a Miami guy kind of digging up some stuff. Nepper, just wait till the Monday show. It'll be off the charts. What was that? I didn't highlight it. Something about the QB name, Miami Prep. Johnny will be wound tight. You're darn tootin', I'll be wound tight. You outside your mind? So Anders says, not elite. He rushed for over 1,200 yards on only 160 carries. The guy broke down all the numbers and whatever to prove he's not elite. That's fine. Hey, you're going to get a chance week 1 to prove the guy right or wrong. And we've talked about it before. Regardless of who's named quarterback, the best thing you can do is play good defense and have a good offensive line and run game. That is the best way to ease this guy in. Either way it goes, put either name in there. The best thing you can do is play good defense, have a good offensive line, run the ball. It'll make that guy's life and transition into the limelight so much easier. So much easier. And so I don't know, man, but I am ready to turn the page to the next part of this. And that is Miami Prep, and you know who your quarterback is, and we're all rallying up in the momentum building right into Miami. So that's where we need to get. And but this is I get that people are tired with the quarterback thing, and it's a little uncomfortable because you just don't know what you're buying into. You don't know what you're buying into. It's just been an uncomfortable feeling. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give you the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, Always Irish. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my stupid face. Nobody can blame you for that. Call in lines 312-900-8815. They were acting... Bro, something going on with the call line. I don't know what it is. It's acting a little goofy. I don't like there's something going on. They need to fix their back-end website or whatever. There's something going on. It ain't acting right on the call-in lines. But go ahead and try and call it anyways if you want. 312-900-8815. Dial it up. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Oh, boy. We got it cranking over there, man. There's hot takes galore. Tell you what, right now, that chat feature is burning up, baby. It's burning up, that chat feature. Nonstop, 24 hours a day. It's like a private Twitter or something. It's like private Twitter. Man, it's juicy over there. Getting after it. Terrence Westbrook. Most of the fans and media has tried to sabotage Minchie. I don't know what's going on. Johnny, only your channel has switched the names, bro. I have not changed a dang thing from my end. I'm used to the names being what they've been all these years. One day I logged in and they were different. I don't know what to tell you. I have not changed a setting. I didn't know that was an option. I don't understand. I don't get what was going on. So the Patreon, check us out over there. ND25 is the promo code to get in, test it out. Half price, baby, for a month. See if you like it. And we have a good time over there. That chat thing is hot and heavy, man. Every single minute of every day, somebody's on there. It's a beautiful thing. So I see a lot of the regulars here. Let's go through some super chats and some regular chats that were intriguing to me. And let's get into it that way. I'm going to start with this. I did see Rudy Angela here and was with her last night, and we did the wake for our friend that passed away. And I'm just gonna say this, and maybe you guys have gone through this. Make an effort to see your friend group and your extended friend group, your college friends and old roommates or whatever. Make an effort to see them outside of funerals. we just realized with all of our like friends from 20 years ago that we've had, everybody gets busy with their own life and their own kids or whatever. The last couple times I've seen all of this group together has been at wakes. It's been at wakes, and it just makes you, and then after the wake, we all went to Always Irish Senior's house and it got some pizza and drank some beers on the patio. And like, we all just sat there, but like, we were all looking around at each other like, man, it's just kind of sad. The only time we're all getting together is at a wake. And the last 2 times I've seen this whole crew has been because somebody dies. And so we're all sitting there on my parents' deck last night looking around, and we're like, dude, we should probably all make an effort to see each other outside of that. And that's my fault. That's the other people's fault. That's everybody's fault that you get busy, you get in your routine, and you're just busy in your own little world, and you don't make time for that. And then you see all those people again, and then you realize you missed them. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And so it's just, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Like you did the wake and you got through that. And then after it, it was actually a really nice night because everybody was able to be together. And it's just, I don't know. It just made me think. So I don't know. Tony seemed okay. I mean, I can't say that for, I'm not sure how everybody's taking it exactly, but Tony and Craig were okay. So I don't know, you guys, that's just a life lesson for Johnny realizing. And then driving home last night, I was just thinking, man, it was good to see those people. And I just, everybody needs to make more effort. And I assume my responsibility with that part too. So, anyways, just wanted to touch on that briefly. Let's get into some of these chats here. Let's see what's going on. $5 Aller, my main man Martinez. Dude, somebody figure out why all these names have changed. I have no idea. I did not do this. I have no idea, but it's bugging the hell out of me. But I can assure you, I have not switched anything on here. A very good morning, Always Irish family. Let's not spend too much time on the dang QB crap. Get the heck over it. I understand the sentiment. It's perfectly fair. But telling people to get over, you're 2.5 weeks away from the first game against Miami and you don't know who your quarterback is, like, people are not going to get over it until it's settled. So, like, I understand the mental and emotional sentiment of being over the debate and the discussion and the back and forth and the camps. I get it, but it ain't going to happen. It's the most important individual position in sports. Notre Dame plays Miami in a couple weeks, and you don't know who the guy is. You could say, let's not focus on it all you want. It's going to be the focus until you know who it is. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. Oh, that's good, Tom. Tom says, which Notre Dame player scores TD versus Miami first? I like Raridan. I can picture it now, Tom. I can picture it now. Little trickeration, little rollout, little something, and then boom, there's Eli Raridan wide open for an open pass. I like it. I like it right now. Sid said the fans have no right to info. 100% correct. You are 100% correct. But think about what that means, Sid. If you're not getting the info, that's where the theories grow out of nothing and people make something and make their own narrative. Like you're totally right. The fan base, and I would even argue the media, isn't entitled to anything. But in the lack of clarity is where you start getting the wild stories and the conspiracies and this and that. Like, so you're totally right. We don't deserve anything, but the lack of that vacuum will be filled. It will be filled with something. And that's going to be the hot takes. I know it should be this guy. I know it should be that guy. I'm in this camp. I'm in that camp. It's just tough. I'm sick of it too. I just want to know. It's just like, it feels like you're leading into battle and you just want to know who that front guy is leading the charge, and it's the quarterback. You could be like, Drake Bowen's the leader of this team, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I know, but he ain't the quarterback. Okay? Like, you could be like, that's a leader. Let's focus on, I know, but quarterback's different. Quarterback's different. It's different. It's that important of a position. We got some calls to get to. So let me get through these chats and we'll see what you guys think. We'll see what we think. Andrew says, I hate that sentiment. We definitely deserve information. We are the reason ND makes millions. Have respect for the fans. They will go the other way around, Andrew, and they will say, let's flip this, Andrew. I get what you're saying, but then I would say back, what if the program says giving the fans and the media more information will not help us succeed, and the less we keep in-house, it's going to help the team or whatever? Isn't that like the answer of why it's so like everything's so sheltered and they want to keep everything in? You could just be like, it's like we're the ones who make all the money for them and we deserve the information. They may say, if you want us to keep winning and for you to keep wanting to spend your money, leave us alone and we're not giving out state secrets if we don't have to. The NFL almost has total transparency. What's the difference? This is college football, not the NFL. That's it. That's the difference. It's a different world, a different media ecosystem, different contractual thing. I just feel like it's a different world. It's sheltered because coaches want total control 100%. I mean, yeah, that's a part of it. Notice, I've been saying this. The longer Marcus Freeman's at Notre Dame, the less juice you get out of the squeeze when he talks. They're doing a really, really good job over the years of being like, yeah, you're a real open, genuine guy. Yeah, why don't you dial that in a little bit? The last thing you need to do up there as a coach is put anything out that could be used against you later. It's like you get pulled over and they're giving you a hard time. Anything you say or do will be used against you. The less they say, the better. You don't want to put nothing on film that you may have to answer for later. I don't know. But like, I understand the wanting the information, but they're just going to say it's going to help us win more if everything's not out. And then what do you say to that? If you love Notre Dame and want him to win, and that's why you're into all this, that would be the answer. They would just say the less that gets out to the public, the better. And so who are we? Who is even the local media to get the answers they want right away? I don't know. And the other one, we're going to the calls. And there's somebody here with a thesis because I saw some of it last night. So this is going to be interesting. If you're on a hold, we'll go right to you. Yeah, I just don't. I get it. We're not. I don't think we're entitled to anything really. It's just not up to you. I don't know. Like I don't know, but it is interesting. And the local media didn't even get the color of the bridesmaid dresses at Eli's wedding. I don't know, you guys. I just want closure and clarity. I just want closure and clarity. I was saying Goolsby always talks about hating cameras in the locker room. That's a perfect, not an exact apples comparison with the quarterback thing and us wanting more info. But Goolsby, when they do like showing the pregame speech from the coach and having a camera in there and everything, hates it. The guy's like, that is private. That is for the players to get in the zone they need to, not for TV, not for public consumption. What goes on back there should be the sanctity of that locker room for the players. Like there should be no cameras in there. Like that should be our space to do what we need to do to get ready without cameras watching, like stuff like that. I agree with, but like in the media era we live in, everybody wants more and more and more and more access, more details, more everything. And I get it. But I don't think the fans deserve a daily update on the quarterback battle. Like none of your business, man. They're going to say not sharing info helps us win. You could agree or not agree. That's what they're going to say. So main man, thanks for the donation. But, this is, it's just tough. They say football is a game of inches. Michigan just used binoculars. Here's the thing. They're supposed to come out with the punishment at 1:00. And I'm reading slap on the wrist, a little fine, and then maybe Sharon Moore's suspended a couple more games. I don't understand. We did all of this and we've had all of this drama and all this stuff, and it's going to be a fine. And maybe Sharon Moore gets a couple more games suspended, and they'll probably get to pick which ones. And then it'll be whatever. Like they get to pick the easiest games. What a total joke, dude. What a total joke. And you know what else, too? Here's the other thing. I usually don't do this, but I'm being forced to. You got this huge Ohio State channel, okay? Buckeye Scoop, this huge Ohio State YouTube channel. And the main guy on it made a very, very bad decision recently that cost somebody their life, an innocent person their life. Okay? And then all summer, they boosted the ratings when there's nothing going on all summer by making every headline, Michigan's going to get nailed by the NCAA. Oh, they're going to absolutely nail Michigan. Every single title all summer to get views is, oh, they're going to put the hammer down on Michigan and whatever. I don't know how you operate that channel anymore. If your main guy cost someone his life like a month ago, and then you spent the whole summer saying they're going to get nailed, and our sources say they're going to get nailed. It's going to be the worst penalty of all time. They're going to get nailed. And then it's a fine, and Sharon Moore suspended a couple games. I don't know how you're able to keep going in good faith and not lose credibility when you have those things going against you. When you have those things going against you, that's tough. But every day, somebody sent me a link to a video from them saying Michigan's going to get nailed. It's going to be awful. So if it ends up being a fine and Sharon Moore gets suspended another week game, what a joke. What a joke. And the other thing is that the NCAA has, it drives me nuts. This huge investigation and this huge, all these filings and paperwork and depositions and all this stuff. It sounds so serious for them to just have to write a check. And then I heard, it might be the biggest fine that's ever been levied or whatever. Money is not a big deal to Michigan. Money is not a big deal to Michigan. That is the weakest penalty of all time. You think you're going to ask these multimillionaire, billionaire Michigan people that own these companies or whatever, and it'd be like, is it worth writing a $15 million check to win the championship? You ask one of those rich guys that went to Michigan, what if it's a $20 million check you got to write for this to go away, but you keep the title? Is that worth it? Or you think that's a penny to those people? What a total joke. Total joke. So I'm frustrated that this was allowed to blow up into something big, and then now it's going to be nothing. I am expecting what is leaked with having to write a big check and Sharon Moore suspended a couple games, and they get to keep all the wins, keep the championship, no postseason ban. The NCAA needs to be shut down before Michigan does. Quite frankly, the NCAA should be banished before Michigan because what do you do all this to come out with no teeth? They're the ones that let this build up with all these official hearings and making it sound so dramatic, and we're debating and the lawyers are meeting and all that. To come out with they just have to write a check and they get to keep everything and keep it moving? What a waste of everybody's life. What a waste of everybody's time. So I just figure whatever. But what a joke, man. The NCAA to do all this, and then all they're going to have to do is write a check. And then Sharon Moore is one of the guiltiest ones. Whatever you think this is, he's one of the guiltiest ones, deleting all those texts and being that he's like the punching bag now because he wanted to be the head man, but he knew this was all going to get dumped on him. But it was a unique opportunity to become the head man. But you're going to get dumped all this. So he's thinking, if I survive the shooting now and get through it, then I'm fine. And I kind of got a head start on my head coaching career, right? So He's the punching bag because everybody else, the main people, are out of the program. So he's just thinking, I just need to ride this out, then I'm going to be fine. So whatever, man. But I'm expecting nothing. But I got a problem with the Buckeye scoop then. But between your head man really getting in trouble and causing major life problems, not football related, and then spending all summer getting all the views. You know there's nothing else to talk about. But you put Michigan's getting nailed, the hammers coming down every single day for your live stream. For it to be a fine, I would like the regulars that go to that show every day to start asking questions like, wait a second, what's the reality here? Because that's a bad look. They have been firm on, I'm hearing the information, they're getting nailed. A fine? I am not fine with that, but whatever. Whatever. I'm fine with that. Andrew Gilmore said something about, I got to get through these chats and get to the calls. Andrew said something about it would be no different than Reggie Bush. It'll be no different than taking Reggie's Heisman away, for what he got in trouble for. I disagree with that. It's completely different. Taking money and USC buying your mama a house in the Hollywood Hills is very different than knowing what place the other team is coming because you had laser vision in the stands or whatever. That's way different. It's not like that. It's the opposite of that. Him getting money behind the scenes didn't change the on the field thing. That I think that's very different in my mind. I look at that totally different. Having LASIK vision to be able to see what play the other team's doing is way different than a guy getting money to just be out there in the first place. Now, I guess you could argue, well, trace it all the way back. Maybe if USC did give him the money, he wouldn't have ran all over us every time he played us because he would have went somewhere else. I mean, I get that argument. But I'm talking on-field, off-field. On-field, off-field. And the other thing is, there is a frustration the way Notre Dame operates. I don't know, man. We got tutors helping write papers for some of our guys. I think we better turn ourselves in and relinquish 21 wins. And it's like, oh, Notre Dame, bad place. Look at what they're getting away with, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we turned ourselves in for some people like helping too much on homework, and we have to vanquish all these wins and everything. But something like this, you just get to ride a fine and win the championship. I can't make that make sense. I can't make that. I'm fine with justice or injustice, whatever you think it is, but I like it when it's level. When they treat everybody the same. You could have a low bar, a high bar for discipline, but if it was equal, that's different. The problem I've always had with the NCAA is nothing's ever consistent. You can never rely on what you're going to get. They nail some people, other people skate. It's just very frustrating. Very frustrating. All right, I got to get to these calls. So let me get through the super chats because I do appreciate you guys. Sly. Good morning, always Irish Nation and Trolls. 16 more days till the fan base starts screaming at the TV because of a QB decision. Good either way. Go Irish pound canes. I'm ready to get behind whoever it is and rally behind them and start picturing in my mind what this is going to look like in Miami. 16 more days, dude. Is that right? That's a low number. I'm getting nervous. Renee, my brother, I'm pretty sure you're all going to hear about it even when Freeman picks one. Yeah, there's no way around the story. I understand people are frustrated with it, but there's just no way out of it. C. Jones, VO9er, Z-Zer. I don't understand these stupid things. Just give me back my people's names. Said it before. I'm going to say it again. This is Denbrock's time to shine no matter who the QB is. Earn your money. I wrote an article last week about Gino Guidugli and Mike Denbrock needing to own this decision and make it right. And make sure you're right and do everything you need to do. It's a big year for those guys perceptually. You gotta make sure you figure this out right and you have it all figured out so that guy can succeed. Commander, what would you have liked to see them do different? Write that in the chat. The QB situation is coach's overall biggest mishandling mistake. Tell me what you would have preferred. Where did they make a mistake? What would you have liked to see different? Tay versus Luke versus Strowman. It's just good to have options. It's like you're on the dating market and there's 3 really eligible, nice young ladies that all want to hang out with Johnny Boy or something. Well, those would be the days back in the day. It's just good to have options. Good options. Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. We doing a Saturday night show. I'm planning on it, but let's see for sure. I wanted to get with Goolsby, see what he wanted to do. We were going to do some content. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted. Anybody actually think the lame NCAA is going to do anything? Nope. Writing a check is not a punishment to a place like Michigan. It's just not. It's just not. A $15 million check by one of the mega donors is so worth a championship. It's insulting, actually. No financial penalty would be less insulting than it's just a place like Michigan. If the cost of doing this is you keep a championship and it costs you $15 million, totally worth it. That's the message. Cheat. It is worth it. It is worth it. Why follow the rules if Michigan doesn't have to? Because if Notre Dame did anything, we would self-report it and be grounded for 8 years. That's why. Can't wait to see the Rich Eisens of the world justify their cheating. He's going to go. This outcome proves it wasn't a big deal. They're going to get right out of it. They're going to get right out of it. It's amazing. Is 14 million worth an Addy? Absolutely it is. That's like me pulling out $1 out of my wallet to some of these donors in college football. That's the equivalent of me pulling out $1. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Andrew, I honestly don't care about the QB thing. I think it's weird how passionate some have been about who would win the job. Andrew, you know how this goes. Everybody wants to be right. And if you add an original take, you don't want to have to backtrack. And if you win it, or if it goes the way you thought, or you were leaning or wanted or whatever, then you're going to lean into that for the credibility being like, I was ahead of this. It's a very natural human response to this kind of dynamic. I wouldn't expect anything else. It's perfectly natural. But I think about all those national accounts that had Carr as a dark horse Heisman candidate, but in July. And then now the guy might not even be the starter. That shows how disconnected the reality was apparently from the situation. It's just weird, man. Clayton, good to see you. If you got that hate in your heart from Miami, let it out. Let me see your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face? I am so immature. I'm never, ever going to grow up. I am never going to grow up. I don't know. Jay Carr, what does this have to do with? The rack? I did rack sit. Oh, rack. I don't know what that has to do with anybody, but what a beat. What a beat that Rack City is. I might listen to that after this at the gym. $5 hour. Parker Jones trips the refs. Oops. May the best man win. Whoever gives us best chance start 2-0. That's it. I'm fine with it, whoever it is. I'm fine with it, whoever it is. I'm ready to get behind someone here. And it's leaning Kenny. So I don't know. $10 hour from the road tape. The Michigan people are getting annoying. They don't understand. Nobody cares. They beat OSU. Move on, bro. They care more about winning the Natty, and they know their Natty was BS. Well, if all this is a fine, they're going to be loud on Twitter, letting everybody know they were all wrong. Vibe right now feels like only Miami knows it's a rivalry. $2 holler from N.E. Davis. I get what you mean. And I mentioned it earlier. That's why I'm ready for the quarterback to be named, because there's going to be an instant. You know what it reminds me of? Callers, I'm coming to you. You know what it reminds me of? All summer, it's recruiting. The only thing that moves the needle in the summer is recruiting news. The second you got into camp, that knocked down 10 notches, and it was all about camp and the quarterbacks. The next thing like that, where it'll just flip overnight, will be, if you know who the quarterback is, just watch. All the vibes are going to get into Miami. But it's, you got to have in people's subconscious football mind as fans and media, You kind of got it. You need to know who you're going to battle with before you get ready for the battle, kind of thing. And all the other stuff is happening and progressing to Miami. You're in neutral, spinning your wheels till you get that peace of mind. $20 holler from my lawyer, Eric, with an elite running back room and an outstanding O-line. It would seem Freeman would want a better passing QB to start. The nod goes to CJ. Better passing QB to start. What makes you so sure that that's CJ based on what the staff's seeing? I don't know. And it's like, well, great throwing motion or whatever. Yeah, but if it's going to the other team, what good does that do me? Like, if it's true that the interceptions and the bad decisions are still an issue, it's like, well, look at the way it comes out of his arm. What, into the defense's arms? Awesome, bro. So I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not telling you I have all the answers. I can see it all 80 different ways. Kent needs to go watch videos of Love in camp. $2 hour. Don't let Kent bother you if he says that our guy isn't good and he's good. $2 hour. Minchie's going to backflip on Miami's poverty team. There's some confidence. Start the car. $2 hour. Dude, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't remember this much flip-flop of the ND media about who the QB will be in my lifetime. I'll be in Miami. Better you than me. I have no interest in being in Miami. Zero. None. Zada. Zero. I just created a word. Zada. Whatever that means. Yeah, I've been hearing that about Ash too. And then we're going to get to the calls. Ash appears to be an intense person and has some interesting schemes. He also seems to be a fundamentals guy and a motivational leader. I heard one of the legacy outlets talking about Ash being like very maniacal about tackling, being crisp, being sound, being where you need to be, like tackling to the ground. In all this quarterback stuff, it's easy to forget how important that defense is. Did you see they ran? I'm going to your calls. God, I'm bad at this. Did you see there was a thing that runs a bunch of, they run the future, whatever's going to happen, and then pump out, here's what's likely to result. These models were running, had Notre Dame's defense allowing 14.8 points per game projected this year. That's what they ran, all these computer models. I don't know how they do the data and inputting and moving new guys starting. You don't know how good I don't know how they did it. But the model spit out that Notre Dame's defense is slated to give up 14.8 points per game. That's winning football. 14.8 points per game. I don't know how they did the calculation. That's a number that frees the new young quarterback up to be able to breathe a little bit and not have to be perfect to win those first two games. That's great. So I don't know if you could do that, and that's what they're saying. Let's do it. All right. Let's do one promo. It's a good time for it. We'll split me shutting up with the calls, and we'll get after it. I'd like to introduce you to City Cheers, the super app changing the way you go out. City Cheers is giving every bar, restaurant, club, and golf course in America a free app. That's right, completely free. For venues, it's your own branded platform to promote events, specials, and live music straight to your guests' phones. For guests, you get perks, loyalty rewards, and Express Check, a game changer that lets you view, tip, and pay your tab right from your phone. No waiting, no lines, no wallet, no problem. Most places even give you money off your first visit using the app. Whether you're behind the bar or sitting at the bar, City Cheers makes the experience better. Patrons, download the app and see for yourself. For venue management, call friend of the show and loyal Notre Dame son, Tom Frawley, to get started. 773-332-7742. And be sure to tell him Always Irish sent you. Chicago's very own. All right, let's get into this. We got a bunch of callers. We'll try and do the 5-minute if we can to keep it moving. Some of this, I admit, is totally my fault because I keep running my stupid mouth. Mark with glasses, start us off.
I'm gonna go quick, but yeah, it just says that around three's reporting Michigan's getting a $20 million fine, and Moore's getting one additional game, but
totally worth it. 100% worth it. It's especially for a place like Michigan. Maybe it would be different if it was some low name school that found a way to win it, but no, like it's totally worth it. That is nothing.
Yeah, and no amount of punishment I think would be appropriate, and anything with further acknowledgement of what we already know, that they cheated and the paper trail of it and everything. But it's wild that head coach of a national championship team can be suspended twice for two separate instances, and the linebacker coach was fired for obstruction. Sean Moore was suspended for a couple of games for covering up. Stallions was let go, all within a few months. And, all of this is embarrassing to have if it's your school, let alone, one of these things. And, like the Michigan fans are so defensive about it rather than being, embarrassed, that I just don't understand. And that's not even to mention the Matt Weiss, his all of the computer crime stuff and the pervert stuff. So, but
there's a lot, and they had multiple guys with that issue. By the way, multiple guys had a weird issue with that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's whatever, man. They're gonna skate, so it is what it is. Now let's us go win one.
Yeah, and like I go back to like when this started. If you go back in time, I looked it up. Michigan had just lost 8 straight to Michigan, or Michigan had lost 8 straight to Ohio State, and in that stretch, Michigan lost 15 of the last 16 years to Ohio State. So imagine that you lose to your rival 15 out of 16 years, and then desperate times cause for desperate measures, and all of a sudden all this stuff happens. I don't think it's a coincidence. And Harbaugh was 0-5 against Ohio State, and then all of a sudden you bring in a computer hacker for an offensive coordinator and a Marine that can steal signs, and then everything changes. And I just think that's no coincidence. And I think all this within a calendar year or whatever it is, I think that's the definition of lack of institutional control. And I don't understand the slap on the wrist.
I
nonsense.
And like, I would be fine with the slap of the wrist if everybody didn't let it build into this huge monumental thing. Like, if you're just going to do a slap on the wrist, don't make it seem like you're serious only to come down with that. Like, I have a problem with the framing of it all.
It took this long for this.
Yeah, and the NCAA wants to feel important. They want to feel like they still have a role in this sport where they're losing power every year that goes by. The NCAA is losing power. And it's like, it feels like they're grasping for it. And it's like all of that, it kind of comes off like they wanted to make themselves seem important. And like, but it's just a fine is nothing. So whatever, man, it is what it is. I'm worried about us winning one now, not what they did to get theirs. I guess you just got to move on.
Well, and then another thing, I haven't seen this said anywhere, and this might be nothing, but that the FBI is saying that Matt Weiss tapped into hundreds of computers of 3,000 athletes all over the country. I think his trial's in like November or something. But like, honestly, if they're capable of doing that at 100 colleges throughout the country, like, what else are they capable, considering what we already know about, the extent Michigan's willing to go for to try to figure out how to win? I know they're just trying it to the pervert stuff, but I mean, they're doing this espionage and putting on costumes to be on sidelines. Like, I wouldn't put it past them that they're doing like surveillance, trying to get intel at all these college computers and stuff.
Yeah,
it's you put everything together, it's just like
it's a creepy place.
It's just an embarrassing look.
It's a creepy place with creepy people. I don't like it. Almost reminds me of Penn State. And so I don't know, Mark, but it looks like it's going to be a nothing burger. And there are some major Ohio State people that have a lot to answer for, because you want to talk about us being wrong on the quarterback narrative, or why, people in their camp or whatever. Somebody's got to answer for all the Ohio State people saying they were going to get nailed and collecting all the views and the clicks all this time, convincing people there was going to be real punishment if there's not. Like, there's some credibility taking a hit.
Yeah.
What about Notre Dame, Mark? What about Notre Dame? You got any thoughts about them, or are you out of them because we've rehashed them all 100 times?
Well, I just want to add one more thing to that. We really need Judge Johnny to make a ruling on that.
Yeah.
Conclusion what's coming out today. I don't know if he's backlogged on cases or not, but I'd love to see kind of Judge Johnny get in the court and make a ruling on that. As far as just real quick on the Notre Dame Miami, if we do beat Miami, which I think we all think we're going to, Freeman will have won 6 out of his first 10 games versus top 10 teams, while Kelly lost 8 of his last top 10 matchups. You want to talk about narrative change? There's tons of evidence of that, but this is the top 10 version of that. And again, the big games are the measuring stick of that. And I think we're getting continuous improvement and progress while it's still a work in progress. I think that kind of goes to that. And so, yeah, that's about it. On the way out, shout out to the Patreon chat. Shout out to Goolsby. And shout out to Wu-Tang. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Nice touch. I got to say, Mark, I'm pleasantly surprised with the chat feature on Patreon. I did not I thought it would blow up when we get into the games. I am very pleasantly surprised with how that is taken off, and people really love it. And it's 24 hours a day. There's always somebody on there posting something. It is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the other day I wasn't on it for like 2 or 3 hours. I get on, and the top 2 threads, there was over 99 activities on each thread. I'm like, I was only gone for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, you miss a lot. If you're off, you miss a lot. You got to catch up. Yeah, it's
cool to hop over there.
Yeah. So Mark, I think once this quarterback gets named, I think we'll feel a shift. Everybody will rally behind the guy, and we will all gear up to Miami. But things do feel a little weird and kind of fractured, and the uncertainty with that. And you have these little camps, and nobody's quite sure. Once you get that closure, right, I think people will be ready to rally behind the guy and get ready for Miami.
Right. And I think I might have been the first call in a long, long time to do a whole call and not mention a certain position.
Good job.
Peace out. Thanks for taking my call.
Good job. We did it. We did it. Later, Mark. Thanks a lot, buddy. How much time you got, buddy? How much time you got? Bruce, the voice of the South. What's going on, buddy?
John, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm just ready to get to the next phase of this Notre Dame buildup. That's what I'm ready for.
I got you. Well, actually, I called in because this is funny. I forgot that you were doing the show this morning, and I'm on my phone, and I get the pop-up about Michigan, and I'm like, oh, yeah, let me tune in and hear what John has to say about this. So I tuned in right in time to hear you complaining about it. So here's the deal. Here's my thought on it. One, we got to stop this, making this such a huge thing, right? And I'm not saying they didn't cheat, but what I am saying is when this whole thing came out, I can't tell you how many former players, college and pro, were saying that everybody steals signs. Now, does everybody go to the extent that Michigan did? Allegedly, no. But they said everybody steals signs. I heard Brady Quinn, our own Brady Quinn, saying that he remembers being in like 7th or 8th grade, and his uncle or somebody who was a coach had him literally sit in the stands with binoculars watching, stealing, and writing down all the signs. So this happens from, freaking high school all the way up. Everybody steals signs. So that's one. Scoop, shouldn't we be happy that they kept the SEC from winning another title? Shouldn't we be happy about that? I know it's Michigan, but they beat Alabama in the playoff. I'll take it. And 3, when you look at this thing, even after the signs, even after they got rid of Stallions and the alleged operation ceased, they kept on winning. At the end of the day, they won it on the field, and they did it the way that you're supposed to do it in football. They ran the ball, they stopped the run, they were physical on both lines of scrimmage. And we can't act as if Jim Harbaugh hasn't built this type of winning culture everywhere he's been. We can't act like he didn't build the team in his image, the way he sees football, and continue to take that until they got to the mountaintop. So, like, all this fake outrage about Michigan, I'm like, this has to stop. It's absurd, in my humble opinion.
I think you answered your own question about, like, everybody, all these former players say that it's common, but I think the way you do it and the extent that you do it is a part of it that people think about. And then the one thing with me is I'm at least clearly been open about the fact that I have an anti-Michigan bias in my soul.
Right.
So I am looking for the worst possible thing to happen to them at all times. Like, I want bad things for them. So yeah, when I think there's a chance they could get embarrassed, I want it to happen. And so I'm open. I'm open about that. And then here's the other thing, Bruce. You said, shouldn't we be glad that them winning stopped, the SEC or Alabama from winning another one or whatever? No, I don't see it that way at all. I don't like the SEC, but I hate Michigan worse. Anything other than Kelly, I'm going to say no. What would it matter if Alabama won another championship? Those people have already been happy, and the same people are happy again. I want to keep the people I hate for being happy. I want to keep the people I hate from being happy. What does it matter to me if a hillbilly Alabama person gets to celebrate another one? Big deal.
John, I can't take it. No, I can't take it. It has to stop. It has to stop. I can't take it. Oh my God. You have the same way you feel about Michigan, the same way I feel about them. I can't take it. It has to stop. And however it has to stop, I can deal with it. Yeah. I can't. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I understand it. And I just, man, the blow up around this and the narrative and the rumors and they're going to get nailed and all this, it really didn't help. Like, because it got built up into something it was never going to be. And so whatever, they'll write their check and everybody will keep it moving. But it's just like, I don't know. I almost wish it would have just gone away without any big investing all summer long, all these narratives. I wish it would have just gone away and people would move on. But you lead people to think there's going to be a big hammer when there's all this drama and all of these court hearings and filings. They built it up to be something it isn't going to be. Whatever.
Well, I think they had to, based on the amount of noise people were making about it. So they had to. Yeah. And personally, I'm like, whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah. And listen, I do respect, though, that you're a Notre Dame guy in Florida and how much you hate the SEC. I think that's healthy. And I can't tell you, Bruce, if I grew up down there, I'd probably be more in your camp. But being like in the Midwest and in Illinois, it's a Michigan thing. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I get it, though. I get it.
I hear you. I just wanted to call in and touch bases on that. Those are my thoughts on it, man. I appreciate you taking the call.
Hey, real quick on the way out, Bruce, do you have a feeling on this quarterback? Are you leaning one or the other, or are you totally fine with just let the best man win and we're rally behind him?
Best man win and let's get behind him.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and that'll keep you from losing your mind.
I don't think there's a huge disparity between the ability to throw the ball. It's not like what's my guy who went to Syracuse? Quarterback who came in and saved us against Penn State last year.
Stevie Angeli?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, right. It's not like there's a gap passing the ball between Angeli and Riley Miller. Leonard. Thank you. Man, my memory's gone. It's not like the gap is that big, right? Both of these guys apparently can throw the ball well. You're hearing Mincy's a little more mobile, but as long as we have somebody that can threaten downfield, I'm okay with it because I think everything else is going to be all right.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really a fun week one, man. I'm looking forward to it. Bruce, it's always good to hear your deep Southern voice there, brother. The voice of the mouth of the South, baby.
No doubt, John. Appreciate it, man.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you. Good. Hope the family's doing well. Hope the family's doing well. Pat, what's going on, buddy?
You know, I don't get why people are so upset about this. I agree with Bruce, but I also disagree with Bruce. I'm over it. I moved on. It's 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago now. I'm over Michigan. Just not. I just don't care enough. And is it stupid? Yeah, it was. I mean, but I don't. I think all this does is it doesn't make me hate Michigan anymore, because I don't think I could. But it makes me hate the NCAA more.
Yeah,
that's really like this stuff doesn't happen, or this stuff happens because the NCAA is so ass backwards in the way it does everything. You're probably gonna hear about losing scholarships and a fine to the school and stupid stuff like that, and like a suspension for a game or two for some coaches. Until you say no, this coach has to be, and they'll probably come out. Harbaugh already has a show clause, so like they've already done that. And they'll probably restate that again. Well, the head coach of the team was no longer there. He's got a show clause of coaching in college football again. But he's never going to coach in college football again. He knew he wasn't going to coach.
Yeah. So none of it matters. Yeah, none of it matters.
Nothing. Anything they're doing matters. But I am totally against the way the NCAA handles punishment. They punish players who aren't related to the program at the time of the cheating. They take away opportunity to kids who have, I don't care if I don't like Michigan. You're just hurting a kid in high school that wants to go to Michigan. You're hurting kids who probably had nothing to do with it. They can't go to bowl games. They can't, you're punishing the players who did nothing wrong. And I hate that. That's what the NCAA does when they punish somebody. When they gave the death penalty to SMU, they hurt SMU from the financial standpoint of making money in football, but they decimated a college football team where probably better half of the amount of the kids on that team did nothing wrong. That's the problem with the NCAA and how the way they look at this stuff. Athletic directors need to be fired. Coaches need to lose their jobs for stuff like this. They need to be fined personally, not covered by the school, but fined personally. So millions of dollars come out. You want to hurt Michigan? $20 million fine doesn't hurt Michigan. They're going to make $130 million this year with their TV contract. How about if you want to punish Michigan for what they did, take away the $130 million. Say the instead of Michigan earning all that money from their TV contract and their bowl game affiliations, it's got to be redistributed to all the teams that they played against that they were able to prove they did sign stealing with.
Yeah, I'm with you. The framing of the framing of the guise of serious discipline and that this was all serious makes it worse than if they would have just actually slapped them on a wrist right away and we all moved on. Like the dragging it out part into making a big deal of it is what's bothering me.
Yeah, that's why it's all wrong. And then they're going to say, "Oh, you can't go to a bowl game." Okay, what about all those kids that have committed to that program over the last 2 years that have nothing to do with it? Now you just told them they can't go to a bowl game, so now they have to go into the transfer portal if they want to have any sort of opportunity. Like, it's just so wrong. Get rid of the bad people, find them personally, and then take Michigan's money away that they're going to earn for a year. That's the way you handle it.
Yeah.
And then Michigan will survive. It's not going to cost Michigan their football program, but it's going to hurt them from a different perspective. That is going to be. It will teach other schools. Will make it so other schools look at it and say, "Man, we're not going to go down that road. That's stupid."
Yeah, it's the whole thing is dumb, and now I'm just kind of glad it's over. Now I'm just kind of glad it's over. And the truth is, like you said, it was so long ago now, going on a couple years, and you're going down the road here. It's like, I'm so wrapped up in what Notre Dame's going to do in 2 weeks. I don't have the same energy and vitriol towards this I used to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but the other part about Bruce that I disagreed with was he's saying, well, everyone does it. And, Brady Quinn said it. Look, there's a difference in sign stealing when this wasn't sign stealing. This was advanced scouting cheating. This was a guy dressing up as an assistant coach, standing on sidelines, recording stuff. Like that's a little different than what we're used to in football. Like I look at did you see the Major League Baseball, or not the the Little League World Series where the kids were sign stealing at second base and the umpire caught them twice and warned the teams and all that stuff? Like that's what I expect from sign stealing. Like that's sign stealing. That's what college football teams have been doing time and again. This was completely different. This is way worse than what that was. It's like comparing that to what the Astros did. Completely different, way worse. But also in the same, I guess, line. But again, at the end of the day, I just don't care. I'm over it. I moved on. I am more excited about this Notre Dame football team than I care about what Jim Harbaugh and some douchey-looking dude in glasses did 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm kind of with you. Like it loses its after a while. And it was just, I don't know. I hope there's a little accountability for some of these channels that made a living all summer saying that the hammer was coming and it's going to be the worst thing ever. Like they have some answering to do, because that is either you're dead wrong and you lose credibility, or you knew it wasn't going to be anything and you milked it for ratings all summer. And there should be accountability on that too. I would like to see that, but I don't know if that exists in the modern age.
You're never going to get it. And this is another example of why I look at all these programs now, where Notre Dame and Alabama and Ohio State and just all these top tier programs that are in the college football playoff and are major players that can go off, Texas, and go off and do their own thing. Just abandon the NCAA and let it die.
Yeah.
Create something new.
Yeah.
Create a whole new organization that is a bureaucratic organization that is just sucking money out of college sports. That's all it does.
Yeah.
And if you get away from that and you create your own thing and you start fresh, you're going to have a lot better situation. You're going to be able to, when shit like this happens, you're going to be able to deal with it a lot easier. But you have such a bureaucratic mess over there. You're never going to get. You're never going to get a quality.
Do you agree that it feels like they're reaching to stay relevant and they're like grasping to maintain whatever little bit of power they have and feel self-important in a world where they matter less? Every year we get further down the new playoff, they just matter less. It feels like they're grasping to hold on to some control, but doing all this and patting yourself on the back and making this a big deal to come up with this it's a joke, man. I'm ready for them to go away. Create your own governing body for all the playoff, conferences and teams, and set your own rules and do your own thing. You don't really need them for anything anymore.
You don't. And I don't know if they're trying to keep themselves relevant. They're a bureaucratic organization. It's just this is how they operate. So, but I don't know. I'm fed. I've been fed up with the NCAA since Notre Dame self-reported itself in 2013 for some kids getting some help from tutors or whatever it was, and then they wiped all those wins away. And I just sat there and like, you had South Carolina not self-report the same thing. They got caught for it, and they didn't do anything near the same thing. And Notre Dame self-reported for it, and they wiped Notre Dame off the planet for 2 seasons. And it's just that's when I was like, this is the absolute worst sports organization in the world, and I'm done.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating. Pat, where are you at with the quarterback thing? I'm obligated to ask, are you just whatever it's going to be, rally behind whoever wins a fair contest here and we get it moving, or what?
From day one, I was never a Carr or Minshew guy. I'm a Marcus Freeman guy, and whoever Freeman and Denbrock trot out there against Miami is the guy I'm going to cheer for. And if he doesn't do well and the next guy comes in, it's the guy I'm going to cheer for. My position has been the same from the beginning. Marcus Freeman has earned my trust. I have watched enough of his coaching. I've watched enough of this program over the last 3 years to say to myself that I am not going to second guess this guy until he starts doing things just same exact way I reacted to Brian Kelly after he took the team to 2012. I'm not going to second guess this guy until shit starts to go bad. Mm-hmm. And obviously we saw what happened. And I'm going to give Freeman the same respect.
I think that's a very, very mature way to look at it. And do you feel like I feel once you get that starter named, things will settle down here, and everything, this feeling of underlaid uncertainty will kind of melt away, and then everybody can gain momentum. We know who we're going to battle with, and it'll be a ramp up to the intensity of hating Miami. And I'm looking forward to that next phase of this.
This never bothered me, and maybe I'm just taking a new position on it. I don't know, but this whole thing is just, it hasn't bothered me. None of this, I don't feel there's drama here. Like, I watch all the media stuff, or I read all the media stuff. I get all these national feeds. I get On 3, I get 247, I get Kurt Herbstreit and Reese Davis commenting on the and everyone's, CJ Carr's this, CJ's Carr's that. I was like, you know what? None of these people on the national level are anywhere close to the actual program. Like, none of them are there. None of them are watching practices. And so, like, I think they whipped up something. And I think you touched on it before. Well, Carr's got the recruiting background and stuff like that. And he's got the blue blood name and all that stuff. But honestly, none of that, like, what do we always say? Once a kid is on campus, the stars don't matter.
Yeah. Everything's wiped clean. Yeah. It's a clean slate.
Everything's wiped clean. You perform. And Notre Dame has seen enough 3-star players become superstars that, like, why do we get all wrapped up in it? Whoever is going to win this battle is going to win this battle, and that's going to be the guy. And how can you be disappointed by the story of CJ Carr, or I'm sorry, Kenny Minchey? Like, can you be really disappointed by the story of Kenny Minchey kind of being like the forgotten number 4 quarterback on the roster a year ago, rising up to be the number 1 coming out against Miami? I mean, that's got to say that coaching staff has a lot of freaking faith in that guy to put him into that scenario. I mean, think about that. They had a guy that would have been in the program for 4 years leading up to this. And they told him after spring practice, you're better off transferring if you want playing time, because we want to go down to a 2-man competition and we think you're number 3. That's what happened with Angeli. They told him that he was going to be number 3. And so Angeli left. And so they had a guy in the program for 4 years, a guy who came in and performed for them when it was necessary. He won him a bowl game, and he started and won the bowl game a year prior, and then he came in and bailed him out in the Penn State game to get him points, to get him close in that game again. Like, that's what they had, and then they told him to leave. That's how much faith this program has in Minchey and Carr. And so I'm thinking that we're going to have a pretty good quarterback coming up, and it's going to take him a little bit to get used to the speed of the game, but you're going to have a pretty good quarterback. And I'm just not going to get riled up about it.
Yeah, I understand why it's such a big narrative and a big story and doing the content. But, like, I respect a lot of people that were like, I'm just going to trust there's a real competition and they're going to play the best guy. And then we'll go from there. You know, like, that's fine. So I think my biggest thing, and I'll let you go after this, but my biggest thing with this whole program is, what does this defense look like? And I think I'm probably like that every year coming in. What is the defense going to look like? Mm-hmm. Because you can overcome stuff on offense if you have a lockdown defense. So if this defense comes out as aggressive or more aggressive than it has been the last 3 years, I'm going to feel really damn good about this football team. And I have a hard time looking at that schedule and thinking anyone on that schedule could beat this team with that level of defense. Ooh, yeah. The projections have them giving up an average of 14.8 points per game. That's winning football. I don't know how they came up with that, but it was 14.8. And I'm like, what a way to ease in your new quarterback. If you allow that amount, it builds you some leeway.
Yeah.
Pat, thanks
for the clown.
Yeah, the clown's back.
New name.
Different name, same clown. Pat, thanks for being back, man. Notre Dame football is almost back. This is going to be fun, man.
Yep. All right. Talk to you.
Have a good one. How much time you got? It is really frustrating. The contradictions I'm seeing here. Tim Ide and others are posting some of the notes from the Michigan report. It's enough to drive you insane. The document says overwhelming evidence shows impermissible scouting scheme in Michigan football program. But you didn't do any, you didn't really punish them. So What does that mean that that's okay? Because the punishment's totally worth getting a championship. So see these contradictions. They want to be everything all the time. You don't get to sit there and type up all this bad, scary sounding stuff and then slap them on the wrist with almost nothing. Overwhelming evidence, impermissible scouting scheme. Well, you're not punishing them like it was impermissible. So tone down your rhetoric if you're not going to match it with an equal punishment, a commensurate punishment. Oh, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. Throughout the investigation, Stallion, Arbaugh, Moore, and Robinson each failed to meet the membership's expectation of cooperation, but you let him get away with it, so it couldn't have bothered you that much. The NCAA says there was sufficient ground for multi-year postseason ban. However, the panel determined the postseason ban would unfairly penalize student athletes for the actions of the previous coach. So it's okay to do. We all learned the lesson now. It's okay to do. That's fine. We all learned the lesson. It's okay to do this. And the other thing is, I'm sorry, but I'm going to push back on this. If you know you're being invested, this school is being investigated for all this really bad stuff, and you had multiple people on the staff that were involved in like perverted, weird things, you have all the signs and all that stuff. If you're a recruit and you know that the place you're about to commit to is being investigated for all that, and you choose to go there, that's kind of your problem, bro. You were the one that knew there was all that going on, and you volunteered to go there like you didn't know that was going on. I don't feel bad for you. And guess what? If you're a freshman and then they say no postseason for 3 years and you just got to Michigan and you didn't know none of that, you just transfer somewhere else and go play. Like the transfer portal, like you just go somewhere else. But I think that if you wanted to go there knowing this could all get bad and blow up, while there's all this dangerous, weird, creepy drama going on, and you still chose to go there, I don't really feel that bad for you if the hammer came down and you're like, well, this messes up my plan because, I want to be in the CFP and now I'm not able to. So I don't really buy that because I don't feel that bad for him. So whatever, man. But all this tough talk about what they could have done, you didn't do anything. So chill out on the tough rhetoric on like the syllabus of this document. Chill out on the tough rhetoric if you're not going to do it. But if you're a recruit that chose to go there knowing all this was going on and still pending, why would I feel bad for you if bad news happened? That makes no sense at all. This is not a situation where the current players and recruits had no idea that the bottom could fall out and the whole thing could be in bad trouble. No, if you knew it and chose it, I don't feel bad for you. And if it's like, well, you can't be in the postseason, then you can transfer to Notre Dame and play. Go to Ohio State. Do whatever you're going to do. I don't know. Let's get our main man in and out of here on the work site. What's up?
Not much. Hey, Johnny, how are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's new?
Hey, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, I know.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, I know. I know you are.
Hey, I love you to death. Hey, man, I'm going to tell the rest of you guys sitting behind a desk. Try being out in the Southwest desert with some blocks and shit, damn scorpion ready to bite your damn hand as we're picking it up.
Telling
How about
you,
that? That'll
dude.
put some hair on your ass.
Hey,
Put some hair on your ass.
you're a real man, baby. You're a real man. You're out in the steaming hot desert running a construction crew while talking Notre Dame football. You're a jack of all trades, brother.
Hey, Johnny, man, real quick, brother. Hey, I just want to say what's up, and I'll be listening all night tomorrow. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna call in. But Bruce and Cotter, man, I love those dudes' input, man. They hit the nail on the head as far as like. Bruce is right, man. Even when I was coaching too, man, the ninth grade team, the freshman team, I sent a parent, hey, man, one of you guys got to go to my opposing team and go film them. It was against league rules, but, I mean, we did it. You know what I mean? I don't have hatred for Michigan the way I do for the SEC. You know what I mean? And truth be told, John, me and you talked about this. You drove home. You're so angry. You didn't know what happened, how you got from the Bush push. I was in prison. Watching it, and the whole damn section ruling against the other whole damn section ruling against it. But the truth of the matter of those things are stupid because they happen. Reggie pushed them. He won the Heisman. Michigan won. They beat Alabama in a great game. And it happened, John. Like, it happened. It did not happen. You can't only erase it, but this whole, we're taking wins, we're taking this, and like, who are you lying to? You're delusional.
Yeah.
They happen. You know what I mean, John?
Yeah. It's I know what you mean. Yeah.
John, that's just the thing. It happened, buddy. And so, I mean, but like, like Carter said, man, I agree with you as far as, hey, that's happening, especially in this day and age. You want to go to Michigan and, this is happening this day and age, you can transfer. But back in the day when you had SMU, when you had, these other teams doing things that they weren't able to transfer as easily the kids, that was a different situation. When they had already signed and committed.
Yeah. But
in this day and age where college landscape is totally different, man, like, yeah, that's on them. Hey, this was happening. You chose to come here,
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you, man.
Hey, John, it's going to get loud, buddy. Hey, I just wanted to call, man, and tell you that, brother. Like, I love you, man. Have a happy Friday. Prayers for Tom Frawley, and hopefully the procedure went well. If you know anything about that, and prayers to everybody else. Hey, guys, onward, Notre Dame, and have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow, Johnny.
Have a good one, man. Be safe out there in the heat, man. That dude's doing real man's work. He ain't in no basement yapping his mouth about Notre Dame football. That man's out there working. He's building America, damn it. Eric, good to see you. Every single thing you're putting in here about what Michigan did is making me more frustrated. The document talks about the competitive advantage will never be known due to the individual's intentional destruction of withholding of materials and information. But you're not punishing them or holding them accountable for any of this. I'm getting very, very annoyed with a lot of tough words and not a lot of action. This is very, very frustrating for me. If the report would have just said, you know what, we wasn't as bad as we thought or whatever here, write us a check and it goes away, fine. I have a problem with all of this tough speak that doesn't match the actions. It's very frustrating to me. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. So that's very frustrating to me. 815, make it come alive. What's going on?
What's going on, John? How are you, man?
I'm just ready for football, man. I am just, we're a couple weeks, little more than 2 weeks out. I'm ready to figure out who the starter is going to be, rally behind them, and gear up for Miami. I'm ready for the next phase of this. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm tired of the long dog days of summer, off season. Just ready for football to actually be played instead of talking about it.
Yeah, it's man, this time of year messes with your mind because you don't have any data and you just have a million questions and you play it in your mind of every way it could go, good, bad, or in the middle, every which way. It'll mess with you. When you're a lunatic like all of us, it'll mess with your head because you have all questions and no damn answers.
And it doesn't help when, you have a quarterback battle that, we really haven't had for, 2 years at Notre Dame. And it feels like this is actually the closest, quarterback battle I can remember probably since the Zaire Kaiser days.
Yeah.
And I don't even really remember Zaire Kaiser being really, this heavily covered and, the fan base being kind of torn between Carr and Minchie. Like, I don't remember it being like that.
Yeah. Do you get a sense that people will stay in their respective camps? Or do you think whoever it is, people are going to rally behind him and everybody will be like behind that guy? And then the next question is they'll be behind him until something bad happens against Miami. Then is everybody going to flip? Like, I find the psychology of this whole thing very intriguing.
I think it's interesting because me personally, I was always on the Carr train. And I think, when all the reports came out, I came to grips that it was most likely going to be Kenny. And now it's like, I don't know. I'm of the mindset I'm going to support whoever it is under center. But I do think it's going to be one of those situations where if we go out there against Miami and whether it's Kenny or Carr out there, if they struggle and we lose that game, we go against A&M and the struggles continue, kind of like what we saw, with Riley, in the Miami, Ohio game where fans were chanting Stephen Jelly in the stadium. I could kind of see the same thing where fans can turn really quick if things go bad.
Yeah,
and
it's and you know what else too? It makes me think of this. How long is the patience leash from the staff? I've really been thinking about it. Whoever you name and you run out there against Miami, do you have an obligation to let that guy work through some struggles? Or like, where is the line? Like it could go fine. The guy could play great. I'm throwing that out there as a possibility. There's not a guarantee there's going to be rough. But if it is, what is that balance between like you named a guy a starter, you have an obligation to let him work through some things versus we can't afford to lose his damn game. Like if you're not getting it done, we're doing something else. Like in a worst case scenario or an iffy scenario, how do you handle that dynamic?
well, and this is what's difficult is because you're breaking in two new quarterbacks who have never played a down of college football, while simultaneously being one of the 6 to 8 teams that legitimately,
Yes.
like we're not talking just college football playoff contenders, but you can win a national championship. Notre Dame has a national championship level roster.
You're right. The juxtaposition of those two dynamics together is messing with people. And I admit it's messed with me. That was very well stated. You were right. There's so many things that are at a high clip there, but this is so important. You want to know how it's going to all work out. I'm with you. My mind's a mess. What's new?
But at the same time, it's like I said, you're breaking in two new quarterbacks who've never played. So you're going to, whether it's Kenny or Carr, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to throw picks. They're going to take sacks they shouldn't. They're going to, make those rookie mistakes. Every rookie, every freshman, every player that's, ever stepped on a football field for the first time is going to have those mistakes. It's just, if you're Freeman, that's the part where you get paid as a head coach to determine how far do I let it go? Because it could be, I've had some people tell me, well, you can't just pull Minchie if he throws 2 picks against Miami and you're late in the third quarter and the game's slipping away. It's if you really want to win a national championship, you understand you can win. You could probably lose 2 games max and still get in. But at that point, it's kind of like with the NIU loss when Riley was struggling against Miami, Ohio. That game looked ugly. When the fans were chanting Angeli, there was a reason for that. But Marcus Freeman stuck to his guns and wrote it out, went to a national championship. Can you do that with 2 rookie quarterbacks who have never played? And because with that, it's not like Riley. You could pull Riley, and it probably would be fine. With those 2 guys, you pull one of them, you can't go back to them. If you do, because they're punished, their mind's going to be shot. Their confidence is going to just be shot.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they want to do that, and the other thing you could always do is you could have packages. Excuse me, I'm choking myself up. I'm so upset. You could have packages and then run the other guy out there. And then when you get asked about it later, you could always go, we were planning on playing both guys anyways to see what they had. And it just made sense to do it then. Like maybe you could do that as a way to see what they both have. If there's struggles or mix it up without creating a big drama, you could go, we were planning to have both guys out there anyways, see what they got. Is this a scenario where you got to defer to Gino and Denbrock and just trust that they've seen a lot, seen enough, and you got to just kind of trust that they're going to know how to do this?
I think so, especially with given Denbrock's track record. I mean, he made Desmond Ridder look like a competent, top 3 round NFL draft pick. He made he was a big part of why Kaiser had the success he did. Jaden Daniels, obviously at LSU. I think you just got to trust that everywhere he's been, for the most part, every quarterback he's worked with has looked really, really damn good, and just trust his evaluation. Gino's kind of one of those guys where he's unproven right now as a quarterback coach. Recruiting right now, he's kind of riding high after the Teddy Gerard commitment, but in terms of development, we still got to see it. Now, I do think I've seen some fans kind of turn into a negative coming out of spring ball that it was Carr's job to lose, and all of a sudden now there's all this Minchie talk. That's bad news. Maybe Carr's not that good. I think it may be just more of who knows? Maybe Gino and Kenny worked a lot after spring into fall camp, and that's the development that we needed to see. Because I think people forget Kenny's been here. That this is his 3rd year in the system. Carr's only been here for a year, and he was injured for most of that 1 year. So the development, Kenny's obviously had more development. So I think, again, I think you just got to trust. You paid Mike Denbrock all that money. You got to trust, if you're Freeman, his evaluation, because his quarterback selection so far in his career have, shown that they work out more likely than not.
Yeah, it is. This is a very Notre Dame feeling situation, though. Like you got the first two games almost couldn't be bigger, brand name, like big marquee games. You have all the quarterback stuff. It's like, it's so Notre Dame. You have that standalone game on the Sunday night window. Like everybody's going to be, this is the most Notre Dame-iest scenario to start a year you could imagine in your mind. It really is. It's so Notre Dame. And it's going to be either an awesome, positive way to get it all going, or it's going to be misery. There's no in between, man. It's either going to be brutal or awesome.
Yeah. Of course, we don't get speaking of Michigan, we don't get the Michigan route that they got with J.J. McCarthy and Cade McNamara, where they could afford to start Cade one game, start J.J. the other, because they're playing Bowling Green and, Akron the first two games of the season. We can't do that against Miami and A&M. So, it's one of those things, man. You're a national championship contender, a national championship level roster, and you're trying to figure out a quarterback situation, and your first two games are against top 25 opponents. That's not the best recipe.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. So let's see if we get clarity on the QB soon, which I think people are expecting, and then we'll be able to kind of change our eye level here and gear up for Miami. Anything on the way out? Thanks for touching base.
Yeah, no problem. So, like I said, I'll be in Miami for the game. I know you said you're staying away from there.
No interest.
It's my first time at Hard Rock, so I'm hoping it's a good time. Hopefully, I'm going there a couple days early to kind of have a little bit of vacation time before that. Got some family living down there, but vacation could all be ruined if I come back and Notre Dame lost that game.
Yeah.
So, especially if it turns out like 2017.
Yeah, this is it's a different world now. So hopefully we get a different result. So be safe out there. We'll talk to you. Thank you.
Will do.
Have a good one. Oh man. John, you don't pull the QB. Why? Both are inexperienced, so they have to learn. You stick it out. Do y'all know football? How do you balance their inexperience and you want the guy to learn and all that stuff? How do you balance that with you can't lose to Miami? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Is there no, say it just went terrible for the starter. Is it like, well, we just got to ride it out and double down on it, even though it's going terrible? How do you balance that versus we can't lose game one? And we got to do something to change the momentum here that's going against us. So I don't know. It's not that simple. I hope that we don't have to deal with this at all and that quarterback just plays good. That's what I want. I just want that quarterback to play good, man. And I'll tell you this, if it's Kenny, he's got the personality to succeed in all this mess. He really does. That calm, cool, collected, flatline personality, that will serve him very, very well. So I hope we end up in a situation where it's going decent, that you don't even have to be like, I don't know, do we need to try something else? But so I don't know. Adam Dowling, $5 hour. Are you seeing these penalties? What a joke. You dismissed us going off on it. Pat called about it. It was, what a total joke. So they talked big and then they didn't do nothing. So I don't know. Tom Frawley, Chicago's very own. What's up, buddy?
Hey, John. So I just saw an interesting little take here. Some fella in the chat, Domer Fan 3. He says, I think the coaching staff has seemed to figure out the QB situation every year and have upgraded and improved it every year. And I trust they will put the best product on the field no matter who it is. There you go.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah, just let it ride. Right?
Yeah, I think that's fair opinion. Like, in a way,
it is.
I think that we have not seen either one of these guys in a real game. For anyone to be 100% one or the other, I don't know what it would be based on when you haven't seen him in real games. So I don't know.
Well, anyway, I thought that was a fresh approach anyway, and hey, look, this Michigan thing, I'm bothered by it on several different levels, and here's why. It dislike Michigan all you want, but they taught Notre Dame the game of football in 1887. They are a blue blood, and they damaged our game by doing this. Now that we're finding out that they're throwing evidence in a swimming pool or a pond, which would be good for you. I don't know.
Nice. Good reference. Good job. That was good. Good. It looks
the way I got it.
It looks good on you. Yeah, one of those. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, here's the thing. It all boils down to the Big Ten. Michigan is the Big Ten, and they always have been. And that's no slight against Ohio State, but they ran the Big Ten for 85 years, right, of the 20th century. And so that, along with the fact that they've got a lot of clout with the border regions, the college chancellors in the Big Ten, they go undetected, right? And then you've got the paper tiger, that is the NC2A, right? They used to have a lot more whack, but to Pat's point, a lot of the sanctions outside of SMU in 1986 was, a lot of crappy, picayunish type sanctions, and they really hurt the kids. So now, what do you do in this situation? Because this is not going to get better. Now you've got the rest of the Big Ten pissed off. How do you show up to a Big Ten coach's immediate day and keep a straight face if you're a Michigan fan? You were the face of the Big Ten and one of the country's blue bloods, and now you're doing this Mickey Mouse bullshit and you're getting a slap on the wrist. And let's face facts. There's a lot of heavy-duty Michigan alum that are in the media, a lot of New Yorker media. And so what happens now? What do you do now? Well, it almost have to do what baseball did after the Black Sox scandal. And you got to hire an impartial judge like Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis. He didn't like baseball. He could care less about baseball. You're going to have to put a governor in there to take over. And I know it's a monumental job. How do you find that right person to be the governor because of all the regional biases and conference tie-ins? Yeah. And then there's Notre Dame. And then they want to know why we don't want to be in a conference. Yeah. There's just another reason being independent.
Yep. It is. It is interesting. It is. I don't know. It's frustrating. And I have a problem with them talking tough, saying how bad this was, and then slapping them on the wrist. Like, spare me the paragraphs about how bad this was and all the things they did if you're not going to really nail them. So I'm sick of it. And quite frankly, Tom, I'm much more interested in Notre Dame and Miami than I am this Michigan thing, to be quite frank.
Yeah, I am. It was just an interesting take on, hearing what Coach Tim Hyde had to say about, he's reading through between the lines, and it's just interesting because it does hurt the game. But I think, if that's the fact and they were burying evidence and going, when does it stop? When does it actually stop? And what kind of a message are you sending these kids, right? I mean, at some point, the game's got to be cleaned up a little bit. And I'm not a prude. I understand what goes on. Yeah. There's all kinds. Everybody's gonna cut corners. They're gonna try and get there because of the money. Yeah. It's the money. The television contracts. This is billions and billions of dollars, and people are gonna deviate. So, Miami. Oh, I can't wait. that caller before me. And he said he's going to Hard Rock for the first time. He better get a construction helmet. That's all I got to tell him. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be tough in there. But this is not 2017. This is a new program with a new vibe, new leadership, new players. Like, no Notre Dame fan should have that in your head. And I saw I saw a list going to over the last handful of times we played played Miami at their play, and it was a bad result list, but none of that matters. This is all a new
Every year's its own vibe and
Well-
its own thing. It's a whole new thing. I'm not letting any of
Well-
that shade my mind.
No, and you know that this team will be prepared, unlike Kelly's team in 2017.
Yeah.
They were not prepared to play that game.
Yeah, that's
And,
for sure.
It's the coach. They're going to show up, and like Patrick Connor said earlier too. When you talk about the defense, I think this team's got I think this defense has a shot to be a real good defense, and you take that with you catch a couple of breaks, and you take the pressure off whoever the starting quarterback is, and then fourth quarter, you run that football down there, you pound on them in the submission until they say, uncle.
Yeah, I am
31-17 Irish. I'm sticking with it.
I like that, Tom. I am just excited about the next phase of the buildup when we can move on beyond the quarterback thing, rally behind one guy, and just know we're all on the same team building to Miami. Like, I am excited. I'm excited for that part of this that's going to come next, maybe even as early as next week. So I'm excited about that. I think that'll be a more fun thing because we'll have a united front. Everybody will know who the guy is, and we can rally up to Miami. Anything else, Tom? Thanks for dropping by on a Friday.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm going to take about a 4-day sabbatical and do some other things, take care of myself, and I hope to talk to you guys. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go dark on all this until about 3 days before kickoff, and then, I need a break.
Man, yeah, do what
I need a little preseason break from this
and
stuff.
you know what else, Tom? You got the kind of some of the health stuff going on. Maybe it's a good time to get yourself right, check out for a little bit, make sure and heal up right in time for the season, Tom. We'll be praying for you and thinking about you, buddy.
I appreciate you guys. God bless. Go Irish.
Have a good one. Oh, Chicago's very own. Oh, Chicago's very own. I love that, man. I genuinely do. He is a man of the Irish people. Let's do our second ad read. Another call or two. There's a few people now that just listen. I recognize the numbers. They're on to listen. You got to let me know in the chat if you want to talk to, but some of those people out about town just like to listen. We'll be back. Take a couple more calls. If you're like me, you've seen inflation eat away at your precious savings and watch the markets go unpredictably wild. This made me look into other ways to gain stable wealth over time. With that in mind, through the Always Irish community, I've been introduced to 7K Metals. 7K is helping everyday people like you and I gain access to real gold and silver, not stocks or paper promises, tangible assets. I've been able to consistently build a portfolio of gold and silver month after month without having to be an expert at all. You could simply sign up and start adding gold and silver to your portfolio every month, which is exactly what I do. I set it up, let it run, and have a little fun. It's about creating stable wealth through gold and silver. I believe in 7K so much, I decided to join as a full member. You get education, wholesale pricing that cannot be beat, easy purchasing, and cash outs with the Sound Money wallet. So if you're ready to take control of your financial future, visit my personal website, alwaysirishgold.com, via the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. You trust me. I trust 7K. Why not join today? This is not a membership. It's a move. Silver and gold, silver and gold. God, I love that old silly claymation movie. I grew up with that thing, man. You know what I'm talking about if you're old silver and gold. I want to know where the gold at. 24 karat magic on the dome. All right, enough of that. 703, what do you want to be? What's up?
What's up, John?
What's going on, buddy? How much time you got? What's going on?
John, they knew what they were doing and they got away with it, John. Like they knew that the NCAA lost power. They knew all this was going on.
Yeah. I mean, hey man, it looks like they made even you would think if you were going to levy what I deem to be not very heavy penalties, you would not load the front end of the document by saying they did all this horrible stuff and destroyed evidence and threw it in the pond or whatever. But then you slap them on the wrist. So spare me the tough talking if you ain't going to nail them. That's making me madder than what happened is them building it up and saying, yeah, it was really bad, but we still decided to not do anything.
Yeah, that's just what makes me mad the most. But anyways, let's move on to Notre Dame football.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be where are you at with this? I am fully ready to just know the starter. It's Lean and Minchie. Know the starter, rally behind them, gear up for Miami. Where are you at?
I'm with you there. I mean, we just gotta all the negativity about who they want to win, who's gonna win. Let's just go with whoever Marcus and Mike Denbrock think is the best, and let's go down there and beat up on the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
That's what we have to do.
Man, I am really wanting to find peace of mind in this by saying guys like Gino and Denbrock have been doing this for like 40 years, and I have an obligation to defer to a guy like Mike Denbrock's judgment on who to run out there against Miami. Like, that gives me a little bit of comfort because that's why you paid and got that guy to come here again, to be able to navigate these kind of things. That's why you pay that guy what you're paying him, to figure these things out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, John. Exactly.
So,
and I mean, we got the offensive line should be cooking in this game. So if we could just control the line of scrimmage, and then their O-line is good too. So we've got to get some pressure on back, and then force them to make tough throws, and then our defensive backs will make plays. I think that's what we got to do.
Man, this is it's the most obvious thing in the world, but it needs to be repeated. The best thing that can happen for this quarterback is for Notre Dame to play good defense and the offensive line to be good right away so that that guy can operate and you don't have all the pressure to be perfect. Like, those are the best things that could happen here.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing, John. I was at the golf yesterday, and man, Sky Scheffler can hit the ball. Like, that guy is just incredible.
You know what's amazing about it is the new way these guys swing, where they literally come up off their feet, like they're on their toes, or even like lose touch with the ground a little bit. It is turned into a power game, and it's very different. A guy like that with that swing, man, with them feet up, like Justin Thomas is another one, gets up on his toes, gets air. It's all about that torque now. It is a different world these guys are playing in than 30, 40 years ago. Different sport almost in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyways, John, we just got to be like us Irish fans, we just need to be positive about whoever wins the job. So,
yeah, I think we'll see.
Excited for the season to start.
I think we'll see rally.
And let's cheer on whoever wins.
I'm with you. I think you'll see people rally to the guy. And the that's not really the question. It is, if something goes wrong against Miami, is there patience or a major overreaction and everybody else going, that I knew this was the wrong choice all along? You know, like, that's the part I want to see what happens. The first time that rookie mistake happens, is it going to be, we knew it should have been the other guy, or is it going to be, this is a part of the process? You got to deal with it. So that's what I want to see. We'll see if we get clarity on this weekend. Thanks for giving me a call.
Thanks so much, Sean. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Have a good one. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. $10 holler from the Domer fan, Trace. I think this QB thing has turned out to be exactly what we all wanted in the offseason. A competition, put the best one on the field. Let's go. Beat the convicts. Beat the convicts. $5 holler. Travis Shuttlesworth, 630. The real punishment is that the NCAA didn't give Michigan an excuse to fire Sharona Moore. Cry Sharona Moore. That bub can't win the Natty, and now they're stuck with him. Yeah, look at it that way. That's funny. $20 holler from Slick Rick. I think Coach Freeman knows his QB choice. He has been watching them both over a year. My theory is that he knows, but is letting the kids work each other. Iron sharpens iron. Go Irish, beat Miami. That is Rick. I appreciate you, man. You always here, Rick. Always here. How about a phone call from somebody we haven't talked to since May? 717, what's going on? Never mind. Right when I put him on, the guy's on hold for 80 hours. The second I bring him up, you hang up. How's that make any damn sense? That don't make no damn sense. What are you doing? Oh, man. All right, you guys. Here's the deal. I got a few people that are usually listeners, and I got to get out the door by 11. That gives me 5 minutes to do what I got to do. So that's going to be it. I'm going to get with Mike, and we're going to see. It wasn't that number, Dong. I would have known that number. I think that wasn't it. Or it was. I know it was a different number than the one he called in on. Then it showed up differently. I'm going to talk to Mike, see what we're thinking. But I think either, maybe I was thinking of doing something tomorrow night, no matter what. So stay for an alert, and we'll let you know. There'll be some sort of content, Saturday night show, a Patreon. We're going to do something, maybe both. I don't even know. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know. When I do the Saturday nights, it's usually 8. So we'll see if we keep that up. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the chats. Thanks for the calls. Man, I love the vibe. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the weekend show.